Hey there, welcome back. If you notice my Facebook page, if you follow that, you'll notice yesterday I went out and got a little bit of shooting done. Take these glasses off, I don't need them right now. And I went out there and I took the AR-10 with the SigSauer Romeo 5 XDR and the SigSauer Juliet 4 Magnifier. I went out and got it sighted in and thought I'd give you guys a little back brief on how that went and just tell you what I think. The SigSauer Romeo 5 XDR, I've not done a review on the XDR, but I did do a detailed review on the Romeo 5. I'll put a link to that down here in the description of this video. You guys can check that out. The XDR functionally is the same, with the exception of they've got a AAA battery that goes in right here in the front, as opposed to the CR2032 that's on the Romeo 5 that's on the side of the optic. The other difference is inside the optic you have two different choices on your reticle. You can either have a 4 MOA dot, or you can have a 4 MOA dot that is inside of a 65 MOA circle. Now, I like the circle because it helps me find things quicker. It focuses my attention to the center of the circle so that I can pick up the dot. Now, when I was out there shooting yesterday, everything went really well with it. The SigSauer is advertised as having half-minute of angle clicks. Now, it's pretty close to that, I guess. It seemed like I kind of ping-ponged a little bit to where maybe it's a little more than a half-minute of angle. I don't know. Part of it is me, shooting off a bench. But I zeroed this weapon at 100 yards, and I didn't have any problems with it. Everything worked the way it ought to. The thing to remember, and I'm going to talk about that here in a minute, I'm going to stick the target up that I shoot at and explain things to you. But this has a 4-minute of angle dot. Alright, I'm sorry, a 1 MOA dot. Now, that turns into a 4-inch dot. Well, I am all jacked up. It has a 2 MOA dot, my fault. 2 MOA dot. So that means at 100 yards, the dot itself will cover up 2 inches of your target. Like I say, I'm going to show you the target here and I'm going to explain some things to you. But what I did find out is this optic setup with the optic and the magnifier is exactly what I'm wanting for a what I call a combat rifle. Now, this rifle here, as far as precision and everything, running this setup, I think it's good out to probably 300 yards at silhouette size targets. It's not a precision sight. Alright, we need to understand that and have reasonable expectations going in. You're not going to run a setup like this, or at least I'm not going to run a setup like this if I'm trying to, say, shoot a snuff can at 100 yards, shoot an apple off a fence post at 200 yards. This isn't the setup for that. But overall, I like it. It worked really well. I'm happy with it. And if the need arises, I'll definitely purchase more of them. Good quality optic. I like it. The magnifier, thumbs up on the magnifier. It does what it needs to do. It's really clear. Both glasses are exceptionally clear for me. The magnifier with the quick release is a home run. The whole idea of the magnifier is it's not always on your weapon. Okay, for example, CQB deal, the magnifier comes off, you're just running a red dot. Get to where you have to take some longer shots, battlefield engagements, let's throw that 4-power magnifier on there and we can go to town and get the job done. This gun right here with this setup, I think this system is primo to be shooting silhouette size targets out to about 300 yards. Now, let me grab my target. I'm going to throw it up here. We're going to talk about it real quick and then we're going to get out of here. Now, I hope you guys can see that all right. This is my rifle sight-in target. It's just a standard Redfield target. You may have to zoom in to see it if you can't, but we've got the diamond in the middle, got 4 more at each corner. It's graduated in 1-inch blocks. It's graduated in 1-inch blocks, so you can make those precise adjustments. You don't have to guess how far off target you are. Here's what I found out. Now, 2 MOA dot at 100 yards through a 4-power magnifier will cover up the center of this target. Okay? Off the rest, I could just see the tips of these points at 100 yards as I was shooting. Okay? Couldn't get a real precise exact point of aim, for example. I didn't have crosshairs sitting right here in the center. My dot covered all that up. I could just see these tips. When it came time to move to some of the other diamonds, I had a real hard time seeing them because the dot did cover them up. One thing that helped me was to reduce the brightness of the dot to where it was just barely visible for me. That got me to get a little more precise aim, took a little glare out of that dot, and actually made the dot look smaller. So, the 4-power magnifier on this dot, you are not going to see this inside triangle here, or the inside diamond. You will just see the tips of the outer diamond due to that magnification. No big deal, alright? Just hold right in the center of it, get your weapon zeroed. Once I was finished here, I have an 8-inch steel plate, 8-inch square, sitting at 100 yards. I have one at 200 yards. I have one at 350 yards here in front of the house. Once I zeroed here, I jumped on that 100-yard plate, and that 150 grain 308 round coming out of this AR-10 really puts a smacking on it. So that was my 100-yard experience with the deal. Let's get this out of the way. When I went out to 200 yards, at 200 yards I have an 8-inch steel plate. Now, 100 yard zero, 308, shooting 200 yards, I've got ballpark 2 minutes of angle bullet drop. 2 minutes angle at 200 yards is 4 inches bullet drop. I was able to very consistently and very clearly place the red dot on the top horizontal edge of that plate and take my shots and get center mass hits. Alright, 8-inch plate top to bottom. I got 4 inches of bullet drop. Hold the top of the plate, 4 inches of bullet drop, dead center. And that's what I saw reflected on the plates from where I was hitting. That's about it. Again, I'm a thumbs up all the way with this deal, as long as you enter it with the proper mindset. And that mindset is that I'm not designing a nail-driving 800-yard AR here. Alright, this is a setup that is going to be specifically for close quarters battle or battlefield engagements, I'll say out to 350 yards. I did not shoot at 350 yesterday, but I am going to put a silhouette out there, and I'm going to see what I can do. I'll let y'all know when that happens. One saved round, the eye relief on the Juliet 4, for me is way too close. I mean, I've really got to get up on there to the point of having to collapse my stock. If I have the stock fully extended, I climb up there, my cheek ends up resting right here where the stock hits the telescoping tube for the buffer, and every time I shot, it would pinch beard hair there. So I went ahead and collapsed my stock up some, got the eye relief I needed for that full field of view, and it was just time to go to town. Really good setup. I like it. Money well spent. I don't think you guys will be disappointed. If you do go to buy one, give a look at my friend out in Texas at heartoftexasarmory.com. Alright. Last video I had where I talked about the optics I got, I've got all his contact in there. But heartoftexasarmory.com. Give Neil a shout. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Anyhow, I want you guys to shoot safe, shoot straight, and train often.